Hello, my dear Franken friends, and welcome to Spookyou, your one-stop shop for all things ghastly and ghoulish. I'm your host, Barnabas Vixen, and my, do we have a tasty assortment of tantalizing tales for you today. Handpicked by our very own Weavers of Woe. Guaranteed to send a chill down your spine, or your money back, so it's non-refundable. But enough teasing, because you're here for the stories, aren't you? Well, without further ado, allow me to pass the reins on over to our vivacious voiceover virtuoso, Trey Falco, for the first of tonight's spooky stories. And I'll be seeing you real soon. That is, if this doesn't spook your eyeballs out first.
They came in disheveled caravans, teetering this way and that as their wheels stirred the settled dust on the scorched trail of what was once a well-kept road, now barely perceptible among the discolored rocks. Their faces drawn in what can only be described as a permanent scowl, as if the hardships that had befallen them were etched into the sharp creases of their brows. Each one of these pilgrims knew that to turn back would mean a slow death by starvation. The land they hailed from has been covered by a great cloud of dark, which had crept up while they slept in the night. The food had long since run out, and they had no other options. They hauled what meager possessions they had not already sold onto their carts, and set off in their wagons of old lumber and fraying age-stained rope. If only they knew that their home was not the only land accosted by the Great Famine, for there was no more life anywhere. Animals across the world had died out, crops had succumbed to the dark overnight, and riverbeds which flourished with plant life and fish a day before had dried and cracked under the intense heat of the sun. They were leaving their homes to find a burrow of food and water. Such a shame that there isn't one. Maybe the ignorance they possess to this truth is a blessing. At least they can hope. But unfortunately, hope will not fill their bellies or slake their thirst. They shall fall with tongues dry as ash and bellies shriveled and empty. And wherever they collapse, they shall stay until the sun has burned away their flesh and bleached their splintering bones.
What a delectable morsel of a story. Something short and sinister to get that blood flowing. Hopefully that'll hold you over while we talk about one of our sponsors, Big Frank's Body Shop. Frank is a frequent listener of Spookyou and has immeasurable knowledge when it comes to your body. Yes, you. Yours specifically. Every nook and cranny, every wrinkle and pore. Your very own biological mechanic. He has arms for when yours inevitably give out, various hearts and lungs to postpone that final breath. And right now, when you enter the coupon code SPOOKALICIOUS at checkout, you'll receive 10% off your first purchase of $2,500 or more. Just enter SPOOKALICIOUS at checkout for 10% off your first purchase of $2,500 or more. What a frighteningly good deal. That's Big Frank's Body Shop. Because who could ever know more about your delicate body than old Frank here? Nobody. Not even you. Up next, we got a story so scary, you may just want to go ahead and mute your speakers now. It's okay. We don't judge around here. Okay. Frank judges a little, but it's warranted and you know it.
My closet doors are just mirrors on a sliding track, and the bedroom is relatively small, so no matter how the furniture is arranged, I can still see myself in the reflection when I'm lying in bed. It was a little unnerving at first, but after living here for several months, I don't even think twice about it. But a few weeks ago, I noticed that my dog likes to admire himself in the mirror. I was having some trouble sleeping and was awake much later than usual, reading scary stories online when around 3:30 a.m. my dog woke from a dead sleep to sit in front of the closet and stare at his reflection. I chuckled at his adorableness and snapped a picture with my phone. He admired his handsome self for about 10 minutes and then climbed back into bed and went right back to sleep. About a week and a half later, I was battling insomnia again and noticed that my dog gets out of bed every night to sit in front of the mirror and stare at himself. The time varies a little bit every night, but it's usually for about 10 minutes, sometime between 3:15 and 3:45. And after his staring session is over, he hops back into bed with me and falls right back to sleep. I figured he must be getting a little OCD or something in his age, and he is officially a senior dog after all. Last night I was home alone though. I was out of town for a few days and my dog was staying at the kennel, and my flight back got in too late to pick him up before they closed, so now I have to wait until tomorrow to get him back. I'm staying in a hotel until I can bring him home. Last night I was awake in the middle of the night yet again, and the house just feels so empty without my dog here. Right around the time he normally stares at himself in the mirror, I glanced over at the closet, missing my boy's silly antics, and froze. Staring at me from the mirror was a big, black dog with fiery red eyes. His lips were curled back in a silent snarl, and foam dripped from his fangs. I turned on my bedroom light and the dog was still there. I wasn't sure if he was able to come out of the mirror, and I wasn't going to stick around and find out. I leapt out of bed and ran, slamming the bedroom door behind me, and bolted out of the house. Now I realized that my dog wasn't admiring himself, but fending off something. I've got someone coming by tomorrow to replace the closet doors with wooden sliders, but as I lay here in my hotel room staring at the large mirror along the wall, I am terrified to fall asleep.
Oh, you're still here. I was certain you had died or fled in absolute terror at the first syllable after my brilliant intro. My apologies. I wasn't really expecting anyone to actually make it this far. Nevertheless, if you enjoyed what you've heard this evening, then make sure you leave a like on this video and strike that subscribe button. Go on, bury it. Give it all you've got. It is how we keep the lights on in this place and feed the feral werecats that have made their home in the former manager's chest cavity. And now, it is with a heavy heart that I regret to inform you that it is time for us to depart. But don't despair. I can already hear your incessant weeping. I'll be here every Tuesday and Thursday to bring you more bone-chilling and soul-shivering stories to whet that insatiable appetite of yours. Now go forth, my ghastly gang, and stay spooky.